Hello everyone and welcome to my Bachelor Nation 24 channel. Hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Gold Rush Season 14, looking at bringing back Fred Lewis. One of the biggest fan complaints about the recent season of Gold Rush was about Fred Lewis. While he seemed like a nice inspirational story at first, the former military medic never seemed to get his feet off the ground. By the end of the season, he had the worst take of any of the minors the show followed. However, there are now rumors that Gold Rush wants to bring Fred Lewis back next season. Here is what we know. Gold Rush wants Fred Lewis back for next season. In a recent Reddit thread, one Redditor posted that they received some information, some of it already publicly confirmed, about the next season of Gold Rush. First up, Rick Ness is coming back, which we already confirmed here. Rick, Parker Schibel, and Tony Beats will make next season much more profitable than this season ended up being for the gold miners. Second, there will be some budget cuts for the show from Discovery, but this will affect the crews for the miners. This means that neither Fred's crew nor the Clayton brothers' crew will be back for Season 14. They might still be mining, but they won't appear on the show. However, the biggest news is that Discovery is trying to keep Fred Lewis on the show. Whether this means putting him with a new crew, one that might be more experienced and help him improve, or putting him with one of the other miners remains to be known. Rick Ness is returning next season to Gold Rush. Bringing back Fred Lewis would almost assuredly mean that the Clayton brothers are finished with the show. This is a little disappointing. While their story was disjointed this season, seeing them doing a lot of things other than mine, they still finished the season with more gold in their haul than Fred. The reason it is one or the other is that Rick Ness is returning next season. With Parker Schibel and Tony Beats not going anywhere, that means bringing back Fred means the Clayton brothers will either leave or team up with one of the other miners. The news that Rick was returning hit in January when his ex-fans and current girlfriend Lise M. Airy said that the plans were for him to return to the show. It was then confirmed this week when news hit that Rick was hiring for his crew. He will be back next season on Gold Rush. However, with Fred Lewis also possibly returning, it could make him look even worse. Parker and Tommy are well-oiled machines and will continue to succeed at a high level. Rick should also once again see high levels of success, albeit with much more drama than the other two. That leaves Fred, who hasn't seemed to learn anything over his seasons on the show. The sun dipped below the Alaskan horizon, casting long golden shadows across the rugged landscape of the Klondike. The crisp air was filled with the hum of heavy machinery and the occasional shout from the miners working tirelessly to unearth the precious metal that had brought them to this unforgiving land. Season 14 of Gold Rush was about to begin, and the excitement in the air was palpable. Whispers had been circulating for weeks about a familiar face making a grand return. Fred Lewis, the former Green Beret turned gold miner, was rumored to be coming back, and fans couldn't wait to see what drama and triumphs his return would bring. Fred Lewis had always been a polarizing figure in the gold mining community. With his military background, he approached mining with a level of discipline and determination that was both admirable and, at times, frustrating to his team. His journey from soldier to gold miner was a story of resilience and transformation, embodying the spirit of the Gold Rush itself, a relentless pursuit of a dream against all odds. As the new season approached, the producers of Gold Rush were tight-lipped about the details. They loved to keep the audience on the edge of their seats, and the potential return of Fred Lewis was the perfect bait. Rumors spread like wildfire on social media. Some speculated that Fred would bring a new team of veterans to the Klondike, combining his passion for mining with his commitment to helping his fellow servicemen and women. Others wondered if he would reunite with his old crew, facing the unresolved tensions and unfinished business that had been left hanging in previous seasons. The scene opened with a panoramic shot of the Alaskan wilderness, vast and untamed. The camera panned to a convoy of trucks making their way up a rugged dirt road, kicking up dust as they went. At the front of the convoy was a familiar face, determined and focused, Fred Lewis. The scene cut to an interview with Fred, standing in front of his truck, the wilderness stretching out behind him. "Coming back to the Klondike is like coming home," Fred said, his voice steady and resolute. "I've learned a lot since I was last here. I faced challenges that pushed me to my limits, but they also made me stronger. I'm ready to take on this new season with everything I've got." The camera shifted to Fred's new team, a group of veterans who had traded their uniforms for mining gear. Each member had their own story, their own reasons for joining Fred on this adventure. There was Mike, a former Navy SEAL who had struggled to find his place after leaving the service. Sarah, an Army medic who had seen the worst of humanity but never lost her hope. And then there was Jake, a Marine who had faced his own battles with PTSD and found solace in the camaraderie of his fellow miners. Fred's return wasn't just about mining for gold. It was about redemption, about finding purpose in the pursuit of something tangible and valuable. It was about proving to himself and to the world that he could succeed, that he could overcome the obstacles that had held him back. The season's first challenge came quickly. The team had to set up their camp and equipment before the harsh Alaskan winter set in. It was a race against time, and tensions ran high. The veterans were used to high-pressure situations, but mining was a different beast altogether. There were mistakes, arguments, and moments of doubt. But there were also moments of triumph, of the team coming together and finding their rhythm. Fred's leadership was tested as he navigated the complexities of managing a new team while dealing with the physical and mental toll of mining. He drew on his military training, using it to motivate and inspire his team. He was tough when he needed to be, but he also knew when to lend a listening ear or offer a word of encouragement. As the weeks passed, the team's hard work began to pay off. They found their first significant gold deposit, and the excitement was electric. The veterans, many of whom had struggled to find purpose and direction after leaving the service, were finally seeing the fruits of their labor. The sight of gold in the pan was more than just a promise of financial reward. It was a symbol of hope, a tangible reminder that their efforts were not in vain. But the Klondike was not a forgiving place, and the challenges kept coming. Equipment failures, harsh weather, and the ever-present pressure to find enough gold to make the season worthwhile tested the team's resolve. Fred's leadership was crucial in these moments. He knew how to keep his team focused, how to push them without breaking them. His experience in the military had taught him that success was often a matter of perseverance, of pushing through the hardest times to reach the goal. One of the season's most poignant moments came when Fred took his team to visit the memorial for miners who had lost their lives in the pursuit of gold.